From Calvary Church of Santa Ana, this is the Calvary Life Podcast, the show where we share stories, laugh together, and have discussions about faith, life, and God with people from Calvary Church. Here are your hosts, Eric and Matt.
Welcome to the Calvary Life Podcast. This is Eric Wakeling here with
Matt Doan.
Matt Doan. So, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Day after Father's Day.
That's
feeling
right.
good, feeling appreciated, feeling loved.
I feel appreciated and loved, but I don't know if I feel good.
Oh no.
I ate bad food.
Oh, tell us about it.
You know what's funny? So I had kind of like a low, like not a non-fancy Father's Day, let's say, you know? I asked for, and I think I might have triggered myself to say something about it in my sermon because I asked for Del Taco for lunch.
I wrote that in my notes, actually.
Yeah, because I actually wanted Del Taco, and then I had pizza for dinner.
Oh.
So nothing like,
Yeah.
you know, steak or what,
Right.
you know, kind of that kind of stuff. But yeah,
No, just delicious food.
just delicious food that I like, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
But I tried to run this morning after a lunch of Del Taco and pizza for dinner, and I got like a half mile in, and I was kind of like, oh, I don't feel good, dude. This isn't great.
All your arteries just
Yeah.
like...
And I think it's like 90% the Del Taco
Yeah.
and 10% the pizza. But anyway, it was a good day. How about you?
That's good. Yeah, we had ribs for dinner.
Ooh,
which was
that's
nice.
good.
We got them at Trader Joe's, so it's an easy way to do them because you can just throw them in the oven,
Okay.
heat them up from there.
Nice.
And then I requested my family walk the orange circle.
Oh.
And this is not to
Wait,
throw...
walk to the orange circle?
No, which is very possible.
Yes.
No, we just drove, parked in the parking garage, which is still free as far as I know.
Yes.
And then we just walked the circle. It was really nice. But everyone in my sweet family complained about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They didn't like it.
That tracks.
But I was like, this is wonderful. I'm loving the orange circle.
What were their complaints?
You know, I think, what are we doing? Where are we going? Are we going to buy anything? And that was not the purpose. The purpose was just to walk.
So did you not even go in any stores, or did you
Zero stores.
Zero stores?
We just walked Chapman University, then made the turn, came around.
How do you and Marie get along? Because I feel like her and I are more similar than you and her. Now, that doesn't make a good relationship. A relationship is different, you
Right.
know? Opposites attract,
Absolutely.
whatever. But she seems like German efficiency.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, do we need to call Annie Ganal? No. But yeah. So I just can imagine. But she enjoys a moment. She likes having a good moment though together too, right?
Yep.
So I didn't know if she was kind of like, what are we doing? Was she one of the people?
The whole family was basically sharing the same sentiment. Where are we go? The big question was, where are we going? And I said, we're on a walk.
Yeah, we're on a walk. I'm trying to,
And then, why are we doing this walk?
yeah.
I'm like, because it's Father's Day.
Could it have been improved by being in a more nature-y spot, do you think?
It's very possible.
I'm just wondering if they would have had a better attitude.
Well, it improved from last year. So last year on Father's Day,
Was it in the neighborhood?
we walked Old Town Tustin. So this year we stepped it up to Old Town Orange. No offense, Old Town Tustin.
Well, it was probably like over in like 4 minutes in Old Town Tustin.
There's a bookstore in Old Town Tustin that I really enjoy.
You went inside a store in Tustin, though.
We did. Yeah, this was a little different.
How come you refused the stores of Orange? Like, should I talk
We
to
didn't need
Carolyn?
anything.
Carolyn Kavecki might like be
The Chamber of Commerce or
Yeah,
something?
like yeah.
We looked at, in front of City Hall, there's an old cannon.
Yeah.
We looked at that.
Isn't there something about it being vandalized? There's some sort of drama about that, I thought.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway.
Right in, people. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Let us know. That sounds great.
We walked by St. John's Lutheran Church. It was a beautiful church.
Oh, this is this is like not just immediate family. This is extended family.
No.
There's immediate.
No, it's just
immediate Old Town Orange, and then there's extended Old Town Orange.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were an extended part. Yes.
Yes. Okay. You went by the women's club then?
We checked out the women's club. There was a wedding going on. We kind of peeked in. It was wonderful.
Okay.
I loved it.
I like this.
Anyways.
Good. This is fun to like get into the details of. Yeah, I like walking. Did you because just walking around Old Town by the houses and stuff is nice sometimes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I used to really
I also
enjoy
watched
that.
a lot of soccer, not only yesterday, but this whole week.
Yeah.
I have World Cup fever.
Yeah, I do too. It's been actually like I've been quite sick from it. Like I have the fever. Yes, big time. So, what have you enjoyed about the World Cup? I think we should talk about World Cup. And then we can talk about other stuff.
I really enjoy. I've loved the African countries and like how they've battled, even though they're like ranked not as high as the European countries or South American countries. It's been fun to watch them play. And then I think I'm understanding the game of soccer. I was really caught up. For those of you like me, I was caught up in the scores, 0-0, 1-0. It felt like there's nothing that happens in these games. But when you really start watching them, you see the momentum changing from one side to another. You see the tension when like one little change in the game can like change everything. It's just, I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And
the U.S. is doing really good.
That's true too. You probably appreciate now kind of like watching good link up play, like good passing, like they're kind of,
that's all you call it.
Going from, or building up from the back, coming out from the back where they're like, you appreciate the way that they get it out of a certain area.
I could kick a soccer ball 100 times and not get within 10 yards of what these guys can do. They can kick a ball 50 yards and it goes right to the guy that they're aimed for.
It is amazing. And like helping them, like it's curving so that it's helping them run in the right direction and stuff like that. Yeah, I know. It's amazing. So yeah, I've loved the soccer as well.
We may have canceled a meeting or two here.
It's possible. It's possible I've had a laptop on my lap while working and enjoying the world stage.
Should we have had a World Cup little corner on the screens at Calvary on Sunday, like a little box?
That would have been awesome. Just on the screen. Yeah, it would have been amazing. Except I would have been distracted. I would have been the one being like, wait, what happened? Was there a game happening while I was preaching?
Yeah, Spain.
Oh yeah. Okay, man. I was maybe the only one locked in for that sermon. So I told you about how I had a connection where I was going to likely get a ticket to the July 1st round of 32 game.
Incredible.
And then the U.S. qualified or they won their group. And so that game was going to be the U.S. versus somebody.
So this is in the Bay Area?
Yes.
On July 1st.
On July 1st.
U.S. versus we don't know yet.
U.S. versus we don't know yet.
Okay.
And what happened was once the U.S. qualified for that game, or that became their game, I became out of the running for that ticket.
That invitation got rescinded.
It was it was an invitation that was like not actually fully promised yet, but it was like most likely.
Okay.
And then because the person that owns the tickets wasn't the person getting me in. It was like a relative of that person.
Oh, okay.
And so they were trying to get me into it. I thought I was going to get into it, but then the person that had the tickets ended up giving one to his boss.
Okay.
So that's why that's was understandable because it was to his boss.
Yeah.
But the boss wouldn't have cared if it wasn't U.S.
Oof.
So
now I know you're speaking in general terms, protect the innocent, but
yes.
How was this communicated to you?
Yeah, it was a text I got, just a text I got that was like, I'm so sorry. I know I thought I was going to be able to get you this ticket, but it's not gonna go to you now. And he's like, man, he said something like, man, rich people, sorry. So it's not somebody connected it's not somebody that's like a Calvary person.
Okay.
But yeah.
That would have been super cool to go to that game.
I know. It would have been really, really, really amazing. Yeah, this guy's boss is like, the guy who had the tickets is like a super bajillionaire. And so his boss is a bugajillionaire.
Oh, why is he giving him a ticket
Exactly.
then?
That's why I'm like, this guy can afford to buy it.
Yeah.
But you gotta, I think you gotta make your boss happy sometimes.
Yeah. Don't I understand that? why I'm doing this podcast.
I wish you guys could see. Yeah, we had a couple look at the camera office moments right then. If you could, if you were watching on the video,
maybe something will fall through. Maybe.
I know. I was hoping. I'm like, how can I go through this whole World Cup and then
not
not even go to one game, and they're
Yeah.
right here in LA? But every time I look, they're just way out of range. They're just out of range.
I know.
But then I'm kind of like, oh shoot, I should have done the like go to New Zealand Iran game or whatever, you know,
Just to be at something, yeah.
Yeah. But
Well, because
anyway.
even two nations you're not necessarily knowing a lot of the players, and just the tension of this game matters so much would be fun to be part of.
Totally would be. Yeah. So anyway, it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm living a full and happy life.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen, but I can get this resource to any of you that are interested. We've published the last 2 Fridays in our 10-2 email, which is a little plug for the 10-2. So you can sign up at calvarylife.org/reach, and you can get an email in your inbox that just has ways to pray for our missionaries. And the last 2 weeks, we've included a prayer for every nation that's in the World Cup, 48 countries. And so it's something that I found through
cool.
a few
I saw
other
it.
resources.
Yeah, I definitely saw it.
So a couple people have reached out to me here at Calvary and said, oh, we've been praying through that when we're watching the games, which is cool. So if you want it, let me know.
Sign up for the Reach email.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
Like I just said, if you weren't listening.
Oh, I wasn't. I was zoned out.
calvarylife.org/reach. You can push the button, register.
I did somehow black out. I don't know how I didn't hear that part. I'm sorry.
It's the pizza and it's the Del Taco. Yeah, I had mentioned,
oh boy.
yeah, in your sermon about that, I had written down, we got to talk about Del Taco in the pod. Because you had talked through. Okay.
Yeah, I love Del Taco, man. Del Taco's delicious.
More than Taco Bell.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, more than Taco. I think Taco Bell has become a gimmick industry. Yeah,
Like, here, have this Dorito.
yeah, it's a gimmick.
shelled.
It's a gimmick industry. It's Taco Bell has lost confidence in their primary products. The beans, cheese, meat. We don't really do rice at like rice isn't part of fast food.
No, we do have people at our church that work in corporate for Taco
And-
Bell, so we love them.
Do we really? Well, they need to work on their product because I stand by my statement that it has become a gimmick industry and they need to just have good beans, tortillas, cheese,
I would say, though, the Taco Bell mild sauce
meat.
covers over a multitude of sins.
Oh,
that
yeah?
stuff's so good. You just pour that on whatever.
Yeah, I like Del Taco, dude. I'm sorry.
All right.
They got mild sauce.
Well,
they
it
got
does,
hot sauce.
it does. I know both are like headquartered here, but it feels like Del Taco is more of an Orange County.
Oh yeah, it was, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. But I know that Taco Bell like exec office is like right by the Spectrum. Yeah. I've been there because for once I went to this party for that guy Gabe York, who's like the good basketball player. You know, his mom was like worked at that office, and his graduation party was at like at the Delta or at the sorry, I apologize, Taco Bell at the Taco Bell like offices.
I think there's a test kitchen there.
Yeah, there is. I went down there and like looked at their little. They have like a little mini restaurant and stuff down there. Yeah, so that's kind of like down where the party was.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
Anyway, it was kind of cool.
Okay, what's your go? We all want to know what's your go-to order at Del Taco.
Okay, my favorite things at Del Taco are a Del Taco, not just a regular taco, but a Del Taco has more cheese, no tomato, and then a chicken cheddar quesadilla,
Quality.
love, and a red bean and cheese burrito.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can see why. I can see why running today was a struggle.
I know. It was bad. And I don't just get one Del Taco, I get two. So yeah, that's my Del Taco story. But we had this weekend too, we also had Ella's birthday.
Yes.
So it was Ella's 19th birthday.
Oh, that's great. Happy birthday, Ella.
So that was fun. We went to the Orange Circle and went to the Kicking Crab place. That's the like Cajun boil, seafood boil thing. So she likes that. So we did that. That was fun. I can tell you were making a face like this is what Matt does. Just so you guys know. Let me tell you something real quick. You can tell by Matt's face when he's like doesn't really like something, but he's kind of like being happy for you. You know the I love that for you statement. You know I love that for you.
The kicking crab.
Yeah. When I said kicking crab, you were making a face like what's that? Or I never want to go there. I couldn't tell. I have to dig more into what the face is.
I don't know where this is, even though I walked the Orange Circle last night.
Oh.
I don't know where it is.
It's the place that replaced Watson's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's literally like even a couple of the booths of Watson's are still the same booth.
Really?
Yeah. And it was fun because we were there and Ella's boyfriend came with us. And what's funny is and Ella's like just finished her freshman year of college. Now, her freshman year of high school, homecoming, a date took her and sat in the booth that was right next to us at Watson's before homecoming. And B and I had to go with them and drive them because they were so young that they couldn't drive themselves. And we sat at like the table next to them or whatever. And so we were telling her current boyfriend all about that story of that date, which was really fun. We were like, it was at that booth right there.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
But no, like a seafood boil, it's like there's like shrimp and crab or whatever other kind of like crawfish and stuff like that with like potatoes and corn and sausage.
Put it all out on a tray.
And then you just lay it all out on
I've had that before.
paper covered table. Yeah. So that was fun. Yeah. So anyway, we went to Kick and Crab, did that. Good times. I don't know. Yeah. Good day. So yeah, watched the U.S. game. The U.S. game was awesome.
Yes.
Anyway. Okay. What else is going on with you? Anything?
Trying to think.
Just World Cup fever, Father's Day.
For sure. We had we did a couple Afghan outreaches this weekend, which were really fun. So shout out to Tom and Gail Shook, who have really had the vision and heart behind this. But last 3 Saturdays, they've invited kids from Santa Ana, Afghan refugees in particular, to come do a kids club here at Calvary. And it's been super fun. So they've actually, the Shooks are supported by 4 churches. And maybe not a lot of people know this, but many of our missionaries have multiple churches that monthly financially support them. That's just kind of the way that you can kind of survive in ministry. And so they have 3 other churches that are located here in Southern California. So they've asked each church to take one Saturday here at this kids club, but it's here at Calvary every week, and kind of lead the games and that kind of stuff. So Josh Simpson and Christian Himmerling, our junior high and high school pastors, led this week with a bunch of volunteer kids. That's cool. And I got to be part of it. It was so fun just playing with the kids. And speaking of soccer, I was on fire. I was out in the turf here at Calvary.
Nice.
Playing with the average age was about 8 years old. And I scored 2 goals.
Yes. Did you kind of knock them over and stuff?
It was like, game on, man. That's awesome. No. So that was super fun. And then Saturday night, we did kind of an experiment where there was a guy from our Afghan community that we've been reaching out to who said, hey, I'm a musician. I haven't played since I've immigrated to the United States.
Okay.
My dream is to have a concert of Afghan folk music.
Okay.
Could I use your church for that?
Okay.
So we kind of like figured out how that could work. And so we hosted it Saturday night, and we invited people from the Afghan community to come. Okay. And it was really cool. There was people that would never step foot onto a church campus, either because of fear or they just don't have a reason to do it.
Yeah.
Who came onto our campus last Saturday night. And, but I do have to tell you, so, and this is cultural, but I was like, okay, so how long's the concert? He's like, well, normally we start at 4 p.m. and we end at 2 a.m. I was like, wait, you play for 10 hours? He's like, we take some breaks.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, well, in our culture, we end at 10.
Yeah.
And so he's like, all right. So we ended up going from 4 p.m. to 10.
Still.
And the
6 hours?
The concert really got started around 6. So you say 4,
okay.
and then it's kind of like get going around 6. But they played for 4 hours.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I've become a semi-expert on Afghan folk music after Saturday night. And we had some great volunteers from Calvary that were just helping out. I was just really proud of our church for hosting that.
That's
so
cool.
It was fun.
That's really cool. I love that so much. Oh my goodness. It's so,
I sent you a video, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, 6 hours. That's
serious.
That's hardcore. Yeah. That's
a lot
amazing.
of music.
That's a lot of music. But it ended, I guess, 4 hours, but still 4 hours.
Doesn't Taylor Swift do her 3-hour concerts or something?
Yeah, but anything that's like the most popular version of in the world maybe is different than your local bro that does any music. Doesn't matter the genre, but my friend's rock band, I don't want to see them for 4 hours. No offense. So that's just crazy. That's amazing. Wow. But that's cool. I love that we do it too. I really love that we do it too.
Yeah.
I did something else too for Father's Day, where one thing I like about Father's Day is you get to like make your kids like your walk. You get to make them do things that they don't want to do.
Absolutely. That's the purpose.
And sometimes they might even want to do it, but it's hard to get them to start doing it, right?
Yep.
Like it's hard to get them to commit to do something sometimes the older they get. And when your kids are little, if you got little kids, you can still make them do things. It gets a little harder. So Father's Day, I forced the whole family to watch Father of the Bride.
Oh, that's great.
With the wedding coming up in like less than 3 weeks now. We're at 2.5 weeks by the time you hear this. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. And so then I was just this like sappy, sentimental mess.
Top 10 movie in my opinion.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I've not even been a Father of the Bride.
Yeah. So it was interesting to watch it because I also was like, he starts off extremely, not just like kind of being cheap, but he's like very negative about everything. He's just very negative. And you're like, I'm like, Grace, just, I think this is funny, but it doesn't mean I agree with him.
Yeah, I'm not sending you a subliminal message through this. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That I sort of hate everything about a wedding.
Right.
Because all he can see is dollar signs.
Yeah.
Like that's all but then it just makes him like grouchy. But then he changes to, really like just seeing his daughter. But they have these scenes where it's funny, where it's like, he's, she is this daughter who is, I think she's actually 22 in the movie, and Grace is 23.
Yes.
So it's pretty close. And but then he like sees her as this little like 4-year-old, with pigtails or whatever. And that's kind of how I'm
That's spot on.
Yeah, it's super spot on. So that's how I'm feeling about a lot of that stuff right now. So that was fun.
So did they like it?
Yeah, actually everybody then like was laughing.
Okay.
And it's also hard because sometimes a movie that's, I forget how old it is, but 30 years old or whatever, just can sometimes be dated in some ways. And it definitely is in some ways is a little dated, but it's really, really fun. Yeah. So,
yeah, that's so good.
Yeah. So it was good. That was fun to watch and talk about just funny wedding stuff with that, So I can't remember. I think it might have even been like during that Grace was like, oh yeah, Dad, you have to do like the prayer, like, like a prayer before
something
the meal.
Triggered,
Yeah. And I was like, okay, good. Cause I kind of thought that I like should or would, So anyway, it's fun. All right. Should we get into the sermon?
Yes.
Okay. We talked about good worship.
Yeah.
And you did a great job up there, by the way, before the sermon with the blessing. That was awesome on dads and fathers, and that was a good little moment. And then we got into this sermon on good worship. Yeah, do you want to?
Yeah, just simply 2 verses, you guys.
Yeah,
and it just shows even the wonder of God's word that you can spend, our sermon time.
Yeah.
On 2 simple verses, and there's so much in these verses. It's Acts 2:46 through 47.
Yep. And what's crazy is the week before, or 2 weeks before, we did 1 verse.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, with Tommy.
Yeah, and then we did a few last week. But.
So you titled this "Good Worship," and you start off with like, I get a lot of opinions in your role as a senior pastor here at Calvary of people's thoughts and opinions on what is good worship.
There was actually like kind of like a chuckle in the room at that.
I think we all acknowledge it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I have a theory. I want to run it by you.
Okay.
Now, you were mentioning. You got to the point that worship is more than just music, or more than even point. Just But identifying with the fact that we often like judge what's worship based on the music.
Yeah,
I think for believers in Christ that you end up loving the music when you first came to Christ, or when you had this amazing growth moment in your life. So that's like your genre you kind of get locked into. Would you agree?
I would mostly agree, except not for me, I guess.
Huh.
Well, because like, I don't know, when I was 10, it was like, what was it? Like in 84, 85.
Maranatha, Calvary Chapel music.
Yeah, I guess. And I kind of, so I think I think it's either, I wonder if it's either when you receive Christ or had that moment, or if you're a lifelong Christian from like a cradle to grave kind of, Christian family person, it might be your young adult years.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So, which is kind of like your your high school, college years is kind of like faith
it's
comes
when you
your
went to
own.
camp and those formative years.
Yeah, exactly. So it's probably pretty similar to what you're saying.
Oh, I was singing yesterday. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord.
That was just in your head.
Open the eyes of my heart. And like, that's totally from I was in high school, college age, and that was a song that was played a lot at camps and around campfires. And so
it's
it has meaning to
at
me.
least. Yeah, totally. That's a good song though. I like that song. I remember, if I can remember playing a song at Ocean Hills, my last church I worked at, you know, it's at least pretty old because I came here in 2001.
Yeah, for sure. It's pre that.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you, like, we're getting a little bit off tangent from the sermon, but do you evaluate or love a worship song? And we talked a little bit last week too, based on the music or the words?
It's hard because it's like the words have to be there.
Yeah.
The words have to be good, but then I think the music can elevate it to like great. Like, because a lot of songs, like like the good words is kind of like the baseline. Like it has to have good words. But it depends, because sometimes it's like the way those words are conveyed musically. Like even the Izzy Worthy song that we sang at the end of the service yesterday, like that song, so we love that song, right? But it has this way of like building, like the way the music builds. That's a part of what you love about it. With it, of course, having those like, he's worthy. Like we love singing that. Yeah. So I don't know. Do you have like one or the other?
I was thinking about that before I asked you that, but I mean, obviously words matter. We're theologian hacks in some ways. You know, we're not going to really consider what the words are saying.
Yes.
But there's a lot of theologically rich songs that I don't love to sing. I wouldn't call good songs.
I do like how it's become sort of, I don't know, more normal or like popular to have these songs that tell the story of the gospel, like King of Kings and some other Cornerstone or whatever. These songs that kind of like do the thing of like sharing the whole story, or like, and then on the third day, and then, you know, and like it has that kind of progression, and the Church of Christ was born, the Spirit lit the flame, you know, so I love those like story type songs. That's kind of been a cool, it feels like a newer or like a resurgence of that being popular. Yeah. So I don't know. That's
for
cool.
sure.
But yeah, did you like, okay, because I was like, you know, if it's heartfelt singing, deep lyrics, fully engaged congregation, then it got into like old hymns or new songs, and they were just singing the words of the Psalms. It's because I like saying, like, do you like quiet music or joy-filled loud shouts of praise? And it's funny because like a lot of people might even think like, oh, well, like the more quiet, reflective, that's like the more spiritual, good, and like a loud song is kind of not. But at the same time, like I always am like, I see actually many Bible verses that say sing with like a loud shout or clash of cymbals. And I can't find like any songs that say like sing quietly, like genuinely, like I don't, if you can show me a verse that says that, like I kind of would want someone to like show me where it says that. Now it might say other things like about, I'm trying to even think like what would be like close to that, but it really doesn't like say that in the Bible or in the Psalms anywhere. So it's just kind of interesting, you know? Like it has like, it says to like meditate on the word, and it says to like be still and know that I'm God, let's say, or something like that. But like in the songs about music, it tends to be trumpet blasts and stuff like that.
Well, even in the era of the Psalms, correct me if I'm not right, but like a lot of times they would have like these worship bands in battle.
Oh yeah.
And so it was almost like a weapon. Was to sing these praises to God as they're going against these nations that are so like, you know, strong against the ways of God.
Yeah, totally.
And so in that way it's like shout and like proclaim and
and there's like no speakers and microphones and stuff, so it's like everything had to be in like a you know, just made loud by being shouted.
So you gave us these like, do you like this, do you like this, and like, you know, we're all kind of in the audience making our mental like, I like that, and then you did the little twist and you're like, actually those are all good things, but they don't describe what biblical worship is. Biblical worship is this, your whole life describing supreme worth to God. I think you might have put it a little bit different than that.
Ascribe, not describe, but ascribe, give. Like give supreme worth to God in everything you say, think, or do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So unpack that a little bit. What do you think that looks like?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think that is what I was what I wanted to try to okay, then the rest of the sermon is this
Home
is
and
what
house.
that looks like. Both, big temple and then smaller house style or location wise and what you can accomplish in each of those kind of settings. But it was also the life that gains the goodwill of people is a life of worship, and the life that results in good fruit for the gospel, that's a life of worship. So I was trying to be these things that happen in this passage show how these people are living a whole life of worship, not just our times of attending gatherings of believers and doing something like singing or learning or praying together even, or whatever. It's just it's how you live each and every day of your life. It's your everyday life.
It's your everyday life.
As you would say.
Yeah. I break it down the idea of, I think one of the things that was so winsome about my mom and dad and their following of Jesus is that for the most part, they had their gaps, but for the most part, they were the same follower of Jesus in our home as they were when they would be with our larger family at the church family. Yeah. I didn't see a huge gap in that. There was congruence. And I think that was really winsome to me to be they actually believe this. It's not just something that they put on. They believe this. And I think there's something about, it's in our everyday parts of our life, not just segmenting out, oh, this is my Sunday time. This is my worship time. And on Monday, it's my time. It's no, all of it. And again, having grace on ourselves, because there's going to be, none of us can do that congruently.
We're watching a World Cup game or whatever. It's just kind of, I don't know. At some level.
Walk in the orange circle.
Yeah. Now there is a sense of you're with your family, you're enjoying the world, you are prepared to engage with someone if that were to come up. You are modeling just you and Marie give the way you treat
serving
one another.
For sure.
So that is, and that's why we want it to be all those kind of regular moments of everyday life is worship. And you don't have to be, but I guess I'm just saying it's okay to also watch a World Cup game and you don't have to be praying the whole time for Cape Verde or whatever. You just can relax from it. Yeah. Sure. Now it's cool if you can remember to do that. That's awesome. That's even better. But yeah, it
was great. Kevin, who read our scripture yesterday.
Yes.
So he's cool with me saying this. I asked him if I could, but he's actually high up in the CHP, California Highway Patrol. Yeah. And he does. I don't remember the show Chips when they would do the briefings.
Yeah.
He's the guy that does the briefings. Oh, man. So all the guys get in the room. He's hey guys, make sure you're watching for this on the 57 freeway. We got a red car that's on the loose from this. I don't know what he says.
Roll call kind of time, where it's it's so
But he was saying that he slips in Proverbs to each of his briefings. And he's doesn't make a big deal about it, but he's hey, here's a good principle to think about today.
Yeah, that's smart.
And he'll slip in a little proverb saying. I don't even know if he says it's from the Bible.
Just a word of wisdom.
Yeah. And he's it's been really cool to see guys respond to that and even pull me aside and be hey, Chief, can I ask you about something? And he's stuff guys would tell me that they shouldn't tell their boss, about their families and marriage and stuff like that. They've come to him with that because I think he's living that congruent life, not just here, but in other places of his life.
That's
it's
just
awesome. That's what I want for all of us, right?
Totally.
Is
totally
the house and the home.
Yep, exactly.
So, and then you point out the house.
Yes.
Being the temple.
Yes.
So I think we kind of misunderstand that sometimes.
Help me. I don't understand your question. I
so
apologize.
when it says come to the house of the Lord, sometimes a simple reading of the scriptures, you're wait, what does that mean?
Yeah. I mean, it was just for them, it was going to the actual Temple Mount and going up there and offering offerings. It could be sacrifices at certain times. It was even kind of a social, when we think about hanging out in the lobby or the patio at church, you've got that kind of vibe too of just people hanging out there. And so you'd go up, and it's only at certain times a year that you'd be like sacrificing animals or whatever, Yom Kippur or Passover, things like that. And some other times there were certain sacrifices, but it wasn't just always like bloody.
Right.
Yeah.
The temple was always going, not just on those times.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
something I don't think about that.
I know you don't think about that either. Yeah. And they would go up to the temple daily, and it talks about them praising God. And so they'd still go up there and like hang out. Like, it's like interesting because it's this whole thing of kind of like, it's almost for them. See, for them, it wasn't like being in the like secular marketplace or something. This is still like the Jewish temple was still them. Like they like, again, that's why I try to talk about this whole like fulfilled or completed Judaism or Messianic Judaism, that Jesus is the Messiah that they've been waiting for. And so, of course, they still go to the temple. Like, you don't have to stop going to the temple because you believe Jesus is the Messiah that God promised in the Jewish writings, and all that kind of stuff, the prophets. That's like, just for them, that's like what they were supposed to do. Like, keep going, living your life. But it also was people that don't believe in Jesus as Messiah are there and observing like what your life is like.
Right.
So it had like the effect. It was very it was very unique to like what we experienced, let's say, because it had the impact of being a place that you could be sort of like doing outreach, but also still almost like at church.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
It was
it's
all
like,
mixed in together.
So they would go up to worship. Other people are worshiping Yahweh, but don't yet believe in Jesus as Messiah. And so it's just a very interesting setting because it's not the same as like you would go to the club with your friends and then you get saved and you still go to the club so you could like tell them about the Lord.
Right.
It's a little different than that.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about even making some of those illustrations, but like,
it doesn't quite fit.
Yeah, it's not it. And there are, because it wasn't like a sinful setting or something necessarily. Because there are settings you have to be careful that if you, let's say you get saved, that you wouldn't return to. But you also want to live your life out in the world. Unless your job is like evil or something, you don't need to like change your job. So people are seeing you before and after you're saved in your job setting. You don't need to like now go and like work at a church or something.
Right.
Like
that's not your only option.
Yeah, you live your life in the world. And so like you want to be seen in that way like they were. And enjoy goodwill then, hopefully. So, but then they were also doing stuff just in the home.
Yes.
And they were taking communion together, worshiping together, but just like eating together, just being together with joy and generosity.
Yeah.
Which I like those words.
I want to get into that in a minute too, but like you kind of went after in a good way, both people who are like, oh, worship is only at church or the people that are like, I've rejected big worship. Now I just worship in my small group.
Yeah.
And so there's a balance there, right?
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
both. Any concern you have that, I don't even know if it's in a Calvary, but I think just in the general Big C church, there's always these movements between like house churches and cell groups and.
Yeah, it's just sort of so easy to sound like more holy or something if you're like, oh, well, we just actually have more of like a house church movement. And, it's like we don't really believe in all that like organized stuff, like or big rooms and big settings. And you're kind of like, okay, like there's a place for both. And I think the early church even showed that there was a place for both. The temple is both huge and ornate, frankly. It's like quite ornate. A lot of decor and gold and, like just stuff like that. And there's a lot going on. I mean, there's these giant candelabras that would light up the entire sky. There's smoke from offerings going up, and there's just like all sorts of stuff going on. It was not a sort of mild, quiet, just a scene that didn't have a lot of like sort of fanciness even to it. Like it was pretty
pomp and circumstance.
Yeah, a lot of pomp and circumstance. And so it's kind of interesting to think about that. And so, so it bugs me when people just get kind of like, and then you're like, oh, what am I going to say? Like, I don't know. I don't want to be like, well, there's a place for both. And like, and I think sometimes I probably would say that, but like, it just depends. But there's kind of like you can act kind of snobby or something if you, by talking about there's only this one way as like the more pure way. Yeah. We don't bother with the big stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of home church small groups aspire to be like the book of Acts 2 or chapter 2.
Yeah.
Like, we want to share with each other. We want to meet each other's needs. And you can't do that if you have 1,000 people in a room. But I think the part that they miss is like, oh, but the cool thing about the big worship, if I could call it like that, is there's always another person that you could invite because there's more room at the table for that. And you're, in a sense, I'm going to use the word forced, to be with people that you wouldn't necessarily even pick to come into your cell group or small group or home church. And so it really forces you to give up your rights and your preferences for the good of the other. And I think there's something really beautiful and healthy about that.
I do too. I very much so do too. Yeah, that's good.
But then you also hit back at those that aren't in a small group or aren't like in a smaller setting and just do big stuff. You're like, no, but you're missing something too.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's very, very true. It's very easy to hide in the big setting if that's all you do. And so the big setting's good, has a place, but it's also, there's a place for the smaller.
Yeah. And then we got in with eating with joyful and, or eating to,
with joy and generosity.
Yeah, I just wrote eating with a joyful and generous person. Like, be a person that people say, oh, this person's joyful and generous.
Yeah.
Talk about picking up the tab if someone's younger than you.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think about that one?
Bro, I'm younger than you. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? I would pick up the tab if you showed up, this stuff.
That's true. I did not go into the U.S. game on Friday, which I was invited to.
I do try to like pick up the tab for some of the younger crew, even on staff or something like that here and there. You can't do it all the time, but every once in a while I try to do that. Or sometimes I'll just be like, I'll pay. Just like, even I said this the last couple of times we hung out with the crew, where it was like, I said, just Venmo me what the Lord puts on your heart. And I really don't care. At that moment, it's just like, I don't care. It's like, fine, whatever you need to do. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to live some of that stuff out. And it's hard to like, sometimes it's like weird to talk about that in public or whatever, like when you try to do certain things like that. But I do feel so like blessed and cared for by some of those like people that are like mentor figures in my life that I'm 51, but they still like, they always are just like, nope, I got it, you know? And I was like looking right at Bob Shank when I was like saying some of that stuff, because it's like, I can't imagine him, like he would never let me pay, and so, or somebody like that. So anyway, it's just like trying to hook up the next generation then too. But that's why I said, like, I would never let Max Krushevich, Bob Shank's grandson, I would meet with him and I'm like, no, you're never paying. Just when you're with me, you're never paying, And great. So that kind of a thing. So it's just, trying to pass it on in that way.
Man, it just seemed like this church too, this first century church, they enjoyed just spending time together. They had these meals, we call them love feast or whatever you want to say. It's like, it was a time for more than just getting in and getting out. Yeah. It was like to enjoy the process of being together. Yeah. Which I think was kind of one of your points of like, let's be this type of community.
Yes.
That does this.
Yes. Just enjoy each other, have a good time, feel like excited to put something that you think is great on the table that's going to bring joy and it's going to feel like a bountiful harvest. And that could be, like I said, that could be like a big bag of Del Taco tacos, or that could be like the fancy steak. It doesn't matter, honestly, which it is. Like, I'm stoked on, I'm stoked on either one, as long as it's like with joy and generosity. Yeah. Like, somebody shows up, it's like, look at this, I brought all these like this Taco Bell or whatever, you know, you're like, cool, that's awesome. Thanks, man. Let's enjoy it. Yeah. I think
the two challenges, and they're pretty stereotypical here in Orange County, but like our phones and our time. Yeah. And so we just we schedule our lives to be so busy that like even it feels like a luxury to have like an hour that you would just like sit with somebody and just enjoy a slow process of eating together and talking together. Sometimes that feels like a sacrifice. Totally. Or I'm thinking of like husband and wives, like going on a date time, like, oh, I got to hire a babysitter and I got to like, that's expensive and I got to figure out the timing to do this. And it's like all those things can kind of hold us back from enjoying those, like being joyful and generous people. And then I think just our phones at the table, they're just sitting there and they're just calling for our attention. And I know for me, how it plays itself out is like, we'll be having a conversation and I'll be like, oh, I wonder when the Orange County Fair is. I'll pull out my phone to like type it in, and then all of a sudden I'll respond to a text.
Yeah.
And I'll also like check the World Cup score. And all of a sudden I'm like gone from the table. You know what I mean? So
I know. That happened to me even last night. Like I heard this giant eruption of cheers while we were like I could hear it just like in the world. Like it was crazy loud from my backyard while we're eating dinner together in the backyard for Father's Day. And then I was like, oh, I wonder like who's playing right now or whatever. Like, and I looked, and so I got my phone out and I looked, and it was like, oh, Egypt just scored. Oh, so there's some Egypt fans out there somewhere, you know? Yeah.
Right.
But it was crazy. It was really loud.
Yeah.
So but then, that's the danger, is that then you get rabbit trailed down to looking at something else.
Yeah.
And then, so I agree that I think those kind of things can take away, but also like sort of just like, cynicism can take away from that too, like, or negativity. And I was thinking about like joy and generosity, and like how, like, let's come together and just be like, let's talk about, like, we don't have to be fake. You can talk about our hard stuff personally, but let's not come in and just like talk bad about other people or something, you know, or circumstance. It's so easy to slip into that kind of mode with people, like, I'm so annoyed with blah, 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 blah.
Sure.
And, you know, I mean, there's something like with you always need somebody close to you to do that with.
Yeah.
If there's something like helpful about that.
Right.
But at the same time, like those kind of gatherings shouldn't become that, you know, whether that's like just talking about friends that, you know, you were mad at them about something they did or whatever. And then it can just become like kind of cynical or negative. And so, just trying to, like, that's not joy and generosity, because I think generosity, I was trying to talk about too on Sunday, generosity is like generosity of spirit. It's not just giving, and it's not even just giving money to people or something, but it's like giving your time, giving your wisdom, giving your life, giving your home, like, hey, come, like being welcoming, like inviting people over into your life. So,
Yeah, we'll get into this Sunday too, but I think a result of a lot of this too was just that the Spirit of God was down in these believers to produce that joy and generosity that they really didn't have apart from a supernatural encounter with God. And so praying with like, Lord, would you just continue to fill me? Because as believers, we believe that the Spirit comes into our lives the minute we become a believer.
Yeah.
But there's multiple fillings. There's this idea that the Spirit can kind of lay dormant in us. And I know a lot of times I like look back on my days, I'm like, oof.
Yeah.
Was I led by the Spirit today, or was I led by my flesh?
My stuff, my own self.
So, and it's like, maybe we just pray, even a great like meal prayer. God, would you fill us with your Spirit as we gather right now to be joyful and generous with each other?
Lord, stir me up as I stirred this salad dressing.
God, would you just fill somebody in this room to pay for my meal right now?
Yeah, exactly. It's so good.
That's good. And then the second point, so Acts 2:46, a life of worship includes the house and the home. And then the second point from Acts 2:47, a life of worship results in goodwill and good fruits.
Yeah. Goodwill, enjoying goodwill of people.
Yeah. I wrote winsome witness.
Yeah, exactly. That's good. That's a good way to put it. I think this is one of those situations, and I kind of mentioned on it. I was like, I was feeling I was going to go super long again if I did. I was sort of cutting some stuff, but a couple personal stories even, but just like I do think this is one of those areas that politics ruins, like, our godly witness, because it's become like, what's the side that we take above any other side, you know? And so it just becomes this like bashing of others so much. And you can wholeheartely disagree. I disagree with a lot of stuff about other political parties or whatever, you know, but it's just like, it becomes this thing that my goal in life is to prove those other people wrong way more than my goal is to enjoy the goodwill of all the people so that I can bear good fruit for the gospel. Right. And so like somehow, like, I don't know, we got to get past this thing that is this like fighting or belittling or putting other people down thing that's become kind of part of our culture's like way of being, and it's crept into the Christianity too somehow, and it just bums me out, right? Like, yeah. And so I think we get even so afraid of being connected to something bad that we think we have to speak ill of it so that we're not connected to it, you know, not just even not speaking for it or something. I don't know. There's something to all that is like hurting that side of things. And so we have to think of, okay, then how can I live my life in such a way that's going to sort of show something through that? Because that was where I was like, part of this too is like this perception of reality. Like, you might not be the person that does that, but now people, because of social media or TV or whatever, they've lumped you into like a certain group of people, right? And for sadly, that like sort of evangelical Christians has become kind of like a group that people sort of look down on at some level, you know? Yeah. So I don't know. I want to see how can we live a life that like pushes through that, you know, or is beyond that.
Yeah, I'm very aware. Some of the places that I go, when I tell them that I'm a Christian pastor, that I'm starting at a negative in our relationship. Without anything that I've ever said or did. But just based on people's preconceived notions of that. For me, it's a little bit of a game, and I don't mean this in a manipulative way, I hope not, but like it's kind of a game to like, oh, let me show you by my life that I'm a person that truly loves Jesus because I love you, and like how that plays itself out. I think it's almost like a challenge.
That's good.
In some of those ways.
A good way
I'm thinking of, you know, on one of my kids' soccer teams, her coach, I don't know how else, I'll kind of keep this, I guess, general. But is very opposed to the things of Jesus.
Good.
And it was like a good challenge to like, how can I just build a relationship and a bridge to this person so that they can see that Jesus is good, true, and beautiful. And it's been really fun to be able to do that in that way. Just be myself. Like, you don't want to be someone that you're not. But you just pray like, Holy Spirit, when I step out to pick up my kid at this practice, may my several sentences here be seasoned with goodness and grace and truth and beauty and life.
Exactly. No, totally. I think that same thing. It's interesting, even like sometimes like with those airplane conversations, I always like kind of want the like, what do you do for a living to like not come up too soon, because I'd love for them to see who I am and how I am, how I act, or how I speak to them, or how I judge or don't judge them, you know, based on just me as like, without it being that I'm a pastor. And then it can come up and I can be like, I'm a pastor of this church, blah, blah. And that's fine. Because then they're like, oh, wow, that's cool. And like you actually, I already said this, this, and this, and you didn't just like jump down on me or make a face or whatever. And so that's where sometimes I like for it to, it almost always inevitably comes up because it's a comfortable question to ask people. So what do you do?
I actually love it.
Oh, okay.
Even though it's like, it can be a tension point. It's actually fun because it gets into like.
No, I like that it gets into it, but I was talking about I'm talking about the timing of when it comes into the conversation, so that it's not I'm only being nice to you, or not because I'm a pastor, or I'm only doing this, or that they're immediately like just turned off or something. But I like to be able to have it come up a little
100%
a little later in the conversation.
Can we get into for a minute, and just off the top of our heads, but what is goodwill? It's not just being nice.
Oh, enjoying the goodwill. How do you gain goodwill, or what is goodwill?
Yeah, maybe both.
I think it's like respect. It's like could be thought of as respect, and it doesn't have to be agreement. It doesn't have to be like, because they could see you and not agree with you, but they respect you, or they see you as someone that like is like I don't know. I'm trying to think of like. Yeah, because it's definitely not just being, like, the way to gain goodwill is not just by being nice. It's living with integrity. So I think that's why, I think this respect thing is such a big part of it. Like, I think that you probably are going to be liked a little bit as well, because you are living your integrity and your truth in such a way that is winsome and loving.
Yeah.
So I think you don't sacrifice like your truthful, like biblical standards, but you also aren't just like, I don't know, like judgy, like leading with that kind of judgment and condemnation, and you're not trying to you're not trying to win a debate all the time. You're a person that is like that has their beliefs and lives them without like I don't know, without having to shut other people down. And so I think if there's just like a way that you can actually live that way, then you enjoy goodwill.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I think I'd add to that.
Yeah.
It's just being genuinely interested in the other.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Totally.
Whether that's your neighbor or your coworker or your cousin. It's like, hey, I'm just interested in your life.
Yeah.
And I just want to look for opportunities to serve and care for you and cheer you on. And
I was going to share this one story, which I feel maybe more comfortable on the podcast instead of like on stage. But like I saw this like thing online where people were kind of like bashing Christians. And then I saw my actual neighbor, like my literal next door neighbor, who I think is like, who is Catholic, but like not necessarily, I don't know if they're like an always going Catholic kind of thing, you know, maybe more cultural, but they were like, hey, like they said something because they were kind of like bashing evangelical Christians or something. And then my actual neighbor was like, hey, like, just so you know, I know they're not all like that. My neighbor is a pastor at a church and he blah, 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 blah.
What?
You know? Yeah. And like
No
said
way.
like nice things about me. And so then I was like, oh, it's awesome.
You got to see that?
Yeah, I know.
Whoa,
and I just
that's
saw
cool.
that and I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, that's wild. They're talking about me right there. Yeah. So it was cool. I forget, like, I can't even remember exactly where it was. It was probably like Instagram or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was just like really cool. Wow. And I was like, okay, that's me just like living my very normal with my neighbor life. I didn't like go do a food drive for my neighbor or like go I didn't like overly do something for them. I just was living as a neighbor.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where, you know, you can kind of like, there's certain times when we need to do something more, but sometimes it's just do the regular stuff in a way that is godly and with integrity.
It goes back to like your definition of ascribe supreme worth to God and all that you do.
Yeah, exactly.
And it does feel like there's going to be just spillover to that with integrity and how you treat people. So now it does say, you know, in the book of James, if you want to live a godly life, you'll be persecuted. Yeah. And so there's an idea that like, or I hope you don't hear us saying, you know, treat culture so benign that they never have an issue with anything you believe.
All right, no.
I don't think that's what this is going about. It's just saying that the believers in the book of Acts were so full of joy by the Spirit, so generous, that it just naturally produced, like people that were watching from the outside were like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
What's going on with them?
Yeah.
Like there's something different and kind of unique, and I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what we're talking about.
That's 100% what we're talking about. I totally agree. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think you can like do a little self-reflection and be like, am I like saying that Christians are supposed to be persecuted because everyone hates me because I'm kind of a jerk?
Yeah.
You know, or am I just actually am I doing my best in a winsome way to stand for these principles? Yeah. You know, you know, and then I'm still taking heat for it.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's, because there's like, you got to just check your motives, I think, your motivations for why you're standing for a principle. You know, we always say this, but is it to like win an argument? Is it to be right? Is it to convince other people to think like you? Or is it like somehow out of the love of Jesus? And like you want them to know the love of Jesus. Yeah. And like, is that the motivation? Yeah. And I think we can all like do an honest assessment you probably just take a second and you can be like, you know what? That one I'm doing out of this. You know, I'm doing out of flesh, or this one I'm doing out of spirit. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm praying this Thursday night at a city thing here in Santa Ana. And it's always a little tricky because you're with people with all kinds of belief systems.
Like really all kinds.
Yeah.
Like aliens and like, I don't know, weird stuff.
New agey stuff.
Yeah.
And so when I believe that the way to pray is to invoke the name of Jesus, even it says in the New Testament. And so I'll say in my prayer this Thursday, in the name of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And I know that that's going to offend some and some turn some off.
Yeah.
But I also plan to hang out before the meeting and talk to people and like greet people and like ask their names and get to know them and like show that like, oh, I'm a person that like cares about who you are and why you're here. And so I even pray that I can stand in what I believe and it also like have this bridge of connection that I hope will show like, oh, this guy is a normal, well, he's kind of weird, but he's a guy that I can understand or relate to.
Yeah, exactly.
And that there's some winsomeness.
Yeah.
Even when I pray in the name of Jesus, and I'm praying too that the Spirit of God, when I say Jesus, even in this prayer, there's something that just sparks in people. Because I think we underestimate how much God is already doing in people's lives and overestimate how much we are supposed to do in people's lives.
Yeah.
I'm speaking to myself. But I think God's always working on people. I mean, that's just who he is. He's a winsome God.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's us just showing up, and often even the ones that are most repelled are actually, I wonder if the ones that God's working on the most. I mean, Apostle Paul, we're going to read about in Acts.
Yeah, that's true. That's good. That's good. I think that's good, right?
Yeah. Good.
I think we covered it. Unless there was other stuff to cover, but I think it was.
You're off your run. You were preaching.
I know, it was a lot.
All through Acts.
You this Sunday, finally.
Yeah.
I know I'm sleeping in this week. Just kidding. I'm watching World Cup. No, I actually have a lot of writing to do. I'm like even worried about. I have like too many meetings even still this week. I'm like, man. So I'm trying to. We are pretty much almost like at final draft finished with the Hear from God journey.
Yeah.
So the first journey, these 7 in-person sessions plus these other like 40 days of like daily exercises that we've been writing, and then. But that one starts in September, but then in January starts the Walk with Jesus journey.
Yeah.
So I'm like partway done with it, but I would say not even halfway done with that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots
What's
to do.
your process for those that are right in a life group Bible study for themselves, or if they're like, how do you actually?
Well, so we started with like, this is what's crazy. Like we've honestly started with like small groups doing some discussion, small groups of staff and or others in the other leaders in the church, just gathering and talking about discipleship, gathering and talking about this walk with Jesus thing. And so I have notes from like a group meeting multiple times to talk about let's just talk broadly about what does it mean to walk with Jesus, to follow Jesus. And so I've got notes on that from weeks of doing that. You met with a group of people for 2 or 3 weeks or something like that, sessions, and wrote notes kind of based on stuff you were talking about. I assigned another pastor, Aaron Holm, to do some work on, hey, what is just like a curriculum possibly for how do you be discipled and how do you disciple others? And so she did a little work on that. And so then I've taken like a lot of that work and then thought through like what could the grid be? So first out of that, then create the grid of what are like the 7 session titles. And then we have a bit of a grid that we then developed of what does each in-person session sort of, it has different moments within it. So some group discussion time, some like kind of setting things up, some prayer time, some reflection time. And so kind of have this like almost like a template of like what are like kind of the different modes of learning that would be involved in each session. And so then I kind of like am almost doing, I start with like a little bit of like copy paste like type of writing where I'm kind of taking like little chunks from things that we've previously
like,
worked on.
This could go here.
Yeah, this could go here, this could go there, and then kind of moving some stuff around. And then I kind of like turn it more then into writing. Like it's, sometimes it's like a thought or a bullet or a whatever. And so then try to like write that out of what that actually could look like.
That's a crazy process.
So it's cool because like we've been in discussion as like a Calvary Church leadership about some of these thoughts for like a while. And so we've been kind of like generating some, like, what is like Calvary Church's thinking on these sort of these issues, right? And or these topics. And so that's been cool. So it's not just me like in a vacuum, just like blank page writing, but I've kind of got some like a grid of like things that previous stuff, as well as some templates that help me to kind of be working on that. So
that's cool. I think that gives insight into our church family. And when we talk about the journey, here's some of the things that go into the back end of it.
Totally. And then what's been cool is like then a couple others like Trevor and Shannon have been helping me with like kind of like taking then what I write and kind of doing some editing on it and kind of cleaning some stuff up. Because sometimes you want to just like write and you don't want to be worried about having it be all polished and perfect.
Yes.
It helps you just kind of
100%.
A lot of times even they say with like a book, if you're going to write, you just want like your first draft to be like, just go, just write. Like don't go back and edit yourself. So that's where I can do that freely.
On our team too, I love that you've identified those two. Trevor and Shannon are like all-stars at that.
Yeah, totally.
They're so good.
They're super good at that. And then others are good at more of the free brainstorm ideation stuff. And so that's what's cool about this project. It's kind of used those different minds, different types of minds to go into it. And some people did their work like a year ago or, whatever. And we're finally kind of putting it into practice. So
I know we do our brainstorms here for our Sunday sermons too. And there's sometimes people on our team who are like, that was my idea.
Yeah,
they get all pumped when it gets mixed into a sermon.
It totally does. It totally does. I think of it actually as like those brainstorms, people can probably like understand or relate to like, or have heard of like a writer's room, like for a TV show.
Yeah.
So it's like a group of people gather together and they're kind of like spitballing ideas.
Right.
And then somebody's kind of typing up those ideas. And then somebody has to eventually take all those ideas and like, okay, I'm actually going to write this, like the script. Yeah. And then you kind of go through it with a couple people that are probably better at the go through it part, And so, it's kind of like a writer's room. So
that whole process is crazy. I've like listened to some podcasts about that, like how they write like late night shows and things like that. Like we're literally doing it every day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Man.
Yeah, it's really, really wild. But so we do it every week with the sermon. But
I know.
But it's fun. So that's good.
So pray for Eric this week, you guys, too. Like it's a big deal, writing that stuff.
Yeah. And for Matt, he's preaching Acts 2:48 through something or other.
Yeah, I have a couple of things I need to run by our team. Speaking of that tomorrow, then I'm like, this might be a little risky.
I love it. Hopefully we don't quench you too much. All right, we got one email.
Okay, we'll take it.
From Cameron Willis.
One is better than zero, especially when they're from across the world.
Yes, he is writing from Australia, and his subject line is time zone ? Bots ? From Cameron, he says, regards Wednesday at 1 o'clock being 1 a.m. being the most popular time for listening to the podcast. Which time zone is this?
Okay, because
is it UTC ?
Right.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back. Podbean. Let's see if it says.
This is a very technical question, but very important question.
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say what time zone it's recording in.
It just says 1 a.m. And then it says you can log in to get more advanced or like full podcast metrics.
Okay.
But I actually don't know how to do that.
You don't know your login number?
No. Because it's
Welcome to my world, by the way.
Because it's not actually, it's not my account. It's like Natalie or somebody knows how to do that. But anyway, yeah. So, okay, let's just say, it's UTC. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
Greenwich Mean Time or whatever.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, Cameron, you might single-handedly be throwing off our algorithm of when people listen to the show, because if you're listening to it in Australia,
I know.
It could be 1 a.m. in the U.S., but your time, it's like, I don't know, was it 12 hours ahead?
Yeah, he says listening from the gym at 11 a.m.
He's single-handedly throwing off our timestamps.
Exactly. If we get like one missionary even or two in like Africa or Europe or somewhere.
Well, when you have 3 listeners, it's kind of
yeah, it's true. That's true. Yeah, his one person listening on Australia could be skewing it by like 40%. No. He says also it could be bots enjoying the show.
Oh, I hope the bots do enjoy it.
I think our numbers would be higher if we had bots.
We accept bots.
Yeah, totally. Bots need Jesus. Like, I do think we're going to be leading the robots to Jesus someday.
There's going to be a bot ministry.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be like
Please don't kill us.
evangelizing to the AI robots. He says, best from down under.
Whoa,
Cameron.
I like how you said that.
I know.
Cameron, we're missing you.
Yeah,
Glad you're on
sure.
this epic adventure. He's there for a year.
I know. I was talking to his son, Justin, on Sunday, and we were chatting about Cameron being in Australia.
Yeah.
It was just fun talking to Justin about that. So, yeah. Justin's
who
doing
did
good, by the way.
Australia just lose?
Cameron.
Who did Australia just lose to in the World Cup?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Who was that? It wasn't AUS because that would be Australia. I think it's a different way of putting the letters together. USA, USA, USA. This is like, I think World Cup gets me the most patriotic like I ever am. It's amazing. All right. So that's all the emails we got. Although we also did get an email from Keely about the free California Historic Park passes.
Yeah, that's true.
So there is a free state historic park pass, but you need to get it by July 6th.
Yeah, today is sponsored by California Libraries.
Yeah, normally $50 for the year, but you can get admission for up to 4 people per pass at more than 30 state historic parks.
Great.
So just go to like free historic state parks or something. I don't know. She gave a link, but I'm not going to read all that. I'm sure you can figure it out.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Awesome. Thanks you, Keely. Thank you, Cameron. And thank you, Matt. And thank you for listening to the Calvary Life Podcast.
Thanks again for listening to the Calvary Life Podcast. If you'd like to share any of your thoughts, please reach out to us at podcast@calvarylife.org. You can find out more about the show on Instagram @Calvary Life or on our website at calvarylife.org/podcast.